Welcome to my channel. My name is TRU-HART. After doing my darts, I go direct to my necklines. I give it 0.5 both front and back. 0.5 inch is an allowance is a seam allowance. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel, and thank you so much for watching this video. When I do in so many ways, but after doing my darts, this is my method I usually use. If you like it, you can try it, and if you find there is another easiest way, please do it. There's so many ways to construct bodies, so I joined the necks, and I will show you how they may look like after me stitching all of them. So this is what I have just done. I stitched my neckline first. Please pay attention to this. I've not gone anywhere, only from there. And always make sure you lock this end, that way it doesn't keep opening. There are so many ways to join this actually, but this is how I join mine. It's kind of simple. So if you find yours, you join it the other way around, that's good. It's well and good. That is how I kind of join mine. So as well, I did the same to the back. Remember, back has 2 pieces, so please, back has 2 pieces. Back is like this, just 2 pieces. So I did this and that because it was divided in the middle. That's why it does 1, 2. So I joined it, properly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do nipping. Nipping helps us with the curved line to be straight, and doesn't have any problem of like folding. So you wonder how does nipping looks like. I'll show you. Okay guys, that's going to show you how I do my nipping. This is my front pattern, and I'm just going to show you how nipping looks like. I've got my scissors. I'm going to snip. That nipping is a small cut that reaches up to the seam line. It doesn't go past the seam line, but it's close, extremely close. It helps with curved lines, especially the neck, armholes, anything that is curved. You need to nip, especially even when you're doing a neckline that has a design. You nip. Nipping in fashion and design is really amazing thing. It gives a better look for your finishing. So I am going to nip for both patterns, front and back, because I'm doing the necklines. So guys, whenever you are doing your necklines, please make sure you always nip if you want your work to be neat and smart. Nipping is really important. Thank you guys. As you see, I'm going to just show you how nipping helps. Nipping helps for your fabric not to get up, like lining not to peep. So I am going to do understitch. Like you see, I'm just going to run understitch on my lining. It will help my lining to sit firm on the under. It won't peep outside as I wear my garment. So you can see it's already sitting because of the nipping I did, but when I'm going to do the understitch, it's going to really give it a new, nice and neat look. on all each one of them, back and front. So you can see what I am doing. I'm going to do under stitch, and I'm making sure that my allowances sits under the lining. That way when I'm doing my under stitch, I stitch the allowance together with the lining, and it gives me a very firm looking. And you could be wondering how many inch goes on the as I do top stitch on my necklines. It doesn't really give not even if I can say, maybe it can go like I don't know, 0.2, but 0.1 centimeter is more than enough. Yeah, 0.1 centimeter gives it a better looking, and should be close to the fabric. I am going to do this both front and back to give me a proper nice looking. I don't know if you guys are able to see what I've just done, because when you have done this, just know that you are going to it will give your garment a proper and nice looking. Those of you who are not sure about what I am talking about, you can check on this on the already made garment and see how understitch looks like. That's the way we get to understand things much better, especially when it comes to practical bit. Always look around. You wear already made garment, not so. Yeah, check out and see how understitch looks like. Now you can see the front pattern. I ironed it very well. My neck is sitting well. I've trimmed off my shoulder line, armhole, side, anything that I do not need. I make sure I trim them. Everything is the same. So now you can see that everything is just on point. Now we are here good to go. I did as well this to the back pattern. Everything is just on point. Can you see them both? Yeah, this is so good. This is very good. Yeah. So as well, this is my front back pattern. You see I trimmed as well. So everything is really neat now. I think we are good to go. We are good to start joining our everything together. The neck has been done finishing well. So what we need to do is to join our patterns together. So I'm going to show you how you do that. What you are going to do is you are going to join shoulder line. These have to meet like this, lining to lining and fabric to fabric. So as well, you're going to join for me that together. So let me show you how this lining will be together and fabric is going to be together. So I'll open kind of like this, and I'll make sure that this meet. This should meet properly. That inner line should meet and pin it right away. This should meet as well. Pin at the edge. Pinning is really very important. Pin makes my life easy. So if there's an excess at the edge here, you can always trim, but before trimming, join half an inch here. So this is what I meant when I told you that you need to pin. I pin my middle shoulder line here, right here, and I'm just going to join it like this. And half an inch, that is seam allowance. Seam allowance. I'm going to do this on both sides. So I'm done stitching my edges, my shoulder line together. Can you see that? So this is my lining, and this sits very well. It's on one side, nothing is going on. The other one is like this. No, they are meeting, and that's my point. My point is that this need to meet perfect well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just give it this folding. Can you see that? Can you see how my shoulder is? So I'm going to pin. Now I need to make sure that it's perfectly well. So most times when I'm working on outfit, I like putting it on my body and see how far I've gone with it and see how it is coming up. Yeah, I think it's good. I think so. Let us see how far we have reached. So when you reach at this stage, go and iron here, make them sleep well. Go and iron properly. So and try to pin and see if there is an edge that is not meeting, please trim off. If there is an edge that is not meeting, please trim it off. Like how mine, if you see it closely, they are not meeting well. I am just going to trim this off, and I am going to trim this off. So what you should do next is, what I do next is I join my armhole after neck. Please remember this, after neck I join the shoulder line, and then I come and join my armhole all around. So how am I going to join the armhole? So I am going to remove my pins and turn inside out. Okay, so what do I mean when I told you to turn the inside out? So this is what you should do. Now you understand why our pins were very important when we are doing our requirements. Yes, so me, every time I do some work, I make sure I pin. Don't you see? So this is my armhole, both in front and the back. So after neck, shoulder line, I come and stitch my armhole. That's why I do this. And, there are so many ways to join this. If you find the other easiest way, please you can join like the way you want it. But me, this works for me much better, and the finishing gives me very neat thing. So this is how I will do. So I'm just going to stitch. Like I've left my seam allowance, that is 0.5. So you definitely need to leave that. Okay, so I am done stitching. Can you see my stitches? Yes, try to follow my line kind of. So I'm done stitching. Some people give notches as well here. It's well if you want to give. It's okay. Just to make sure you're on the right track. So what you are going to do is you are going to use the front part to pull out your armholes. Okay, so what I'm going to do is you fix your hands using this side, and you go and pull that edge. That's how somehow it works. So you go and pull it. I don't know if you have ever done rope. You pull that pattern throughout here out. So let me see how. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this front back pattern out through in front. Yeah, here you need to have that logic, especially when you're using this method I'm using. You sorely need that logic. It's a bit easy if you are not having a very small for both sides. Let me so pull. I'm pulling the back pattern using the shoulder line and out. So this is how I'm pulling it out. Can you see? Yeah. After pulling it, please you can go and iron. Sometimes I do understitch on this sides of armhole. It really, when you do understitch everywhere, it gives you a perfect thing. So let me do understitch and I show you how it will be like. Okay, when we reach here, this is where now you find where you need to do your fitting. Remember we pulled out this is how neat our inside is going to be. This is how neat our shoulder line is going to be, and when we come to the ankle, this is how neat it's going to be. So just pin them, but for you will need to go and iron. You need to go through ironing. Make sure you iron properly. No folding. So this is where our zip allowance is going to be. So now we see how our bodice looks like. So what now? This is the point where before you join this part together, this is where now you need to do your fitting. How are you going to do fitting? Now from this point to this point, make sure you divide your bust by 2.